Okay, we're interviewing Sean, a DJ on 90.3, used to be FM, WXLV.
And we're an iHeart radio station.
Yeah, basically, but I mean, internet radio, honestly, terrestrial radio, it's dying.
So, yeah.
So it's like, internet radio is the way to go anyway,
It really is.
The
whole idea of radio is evolving, and the internet is now where people look for new music. They don't tune in their cars anymore, because they're only in their car for like, a couple of minutes a day, driving to or from work, or, the soccer mom going, pick up her kids or whatever. She's not really listening to the radio. She's not looking for new music there. People look for new music when they go online, and they go home, they see all the stuff that their friends post, and they're like, I need to look up this artist, and then they go online and they see, they can start a radio station based on this, and that's
well, not only that, but even in the newer cars for the past several years, they have satellite radio. They don't have traditional radios in the cars anymore. It's or it's like you can plug in your phone and just listen to it through your phone in your car. So it's like now. What type, like, what's your show like on, describe your show on WXLV.
My show is on, currently it is on Saturdays between 4 and 6 p.m. It's called the Saturday Shark Attack, which is why my moniker is Sean the Angel Shark.
And next week is officially Shark Week also.
That's true, it is, yeah. But I like to do an eclectic mix. I usually like to start, because it's a 2-hour set. I'll start off with some of the more low end, maybe indie stuff, all calm stuff. Maybe a little. I'll start off with say Lumineers or Blink 182, maybe some Florence and the Machine, and then I start to ramp it up. About the midway point in the show, I bring it right into metal. By the end of the show, I'm playing like Pantera, Slayer.
Yep, you're playing metal.
Yeah.
For those who are not familiar with this, we're kicking it back to the 80s here with some of these bands.
Oh, yeah.
For the younger generation who's like, huh, who's that? Why, huh?
Hello, I'm sorry. If the younger generation doesn't know who Pantera is, you need to go on to YouTube right now and look up the song Walk. Okay? Look up Walk by Pantera. You will not regret it. It will blow your mind.
Okay. Now you also mix in the local bands also?
Absolutely.
Because XLV is a college radio station.
Yep.
When I was there in the mid-90s, it was like, okay, you had to play at least 2 local bands per hour. So, you do mix in the local music also. Like
absolutely.
what? Like some.
It's no longer a requirement, but I try to do it anytime I get a chance, because I love supporting local music. I love the idea that people around the world are tuning in to my radio show, and they're hearing music that they may not be able to find in their neck of the woods. I've had listeners in Brazil, I've had listeners in Hong Kong, Canada, all over
Siberia.
Yeah. Lord only
North and South Pole.
Yeah, Lord only knows how these people find us, but when they do, and maybe it's just they're searching on iHeartRadio or what have you, but
searching for a favorite song and the station pops up.
And they find us on iHeartRadio, and they hear our local music. They hear the guys who just played on stage at Music Fest, Friars Point. They hear this stuff and they're like, "This is amazing. This is something that we don't get anymore. We want more of it." So
I'll show you that blonde. It was like smiling and getting in the shot. That's what I'm cracking up. It's like, yep, I'm officially in the media now. Now, what are some of the other, just to help promote some of the local bands, what are some of the other local bands that you play, if you can think of a few off the top of your head?
Well, let's see. I was a big supporter of Tune in Tokyo while they were still together, but I do still support Jason Simpson, who was the frontman for them, whenever I get the opportunity. He was actually just recently over at Tepas Music Fest. Friars Point, of course. Let's see, who else? The James Super Band.
Yeah.
Love their stuff.
Now, what about some of the original rock bands like The Beautiful Distortion, Mind Maze? I'm just firing off some of my favorites here. Beyond Eden is supposedly going to eventually finish their album in theory.
Yeah.
In theory.
I've actually I like, whenever I get the opportunity to, I try to get out, especially here to Southside Bethlehem.
Yeah.
And I try to go see the bands that, you know, they're playing in like those upstairs rooms that nobody ever ventures into, and you know, those are the ones that I want to see because those are usually the guys with the most unique sound.
Or even the Funhouse.
Oh yeah, Funhouse, absolutely. There was a band actually over at Broadway Social not too long ago, who is the front man is the brother to girl or the brother of the boyfriend of the sister of a girl I've been seeing.
Spaceball, you've seen Spaceballs.
Yes,
you pulled that off. You've seen Spaceballs.
Yeah,
So now
it's all networking, is
Yeah.
what it is. But either way, I mean, you know, I want to get these guys in the radio station to do a live show, so that way people can hear what they sound like in real time.
that's the reason why I do the video. One of the reasons why I do the video at the show is because, like, okay, you have God knows how many photographers, professional photographers in here. I see them jumping around like jelly beans here at Music Fest, you know? And I'm like, photography's great if you're a dinosaur. If you're in the dark ages. Photography, you can't get the feel of the crowd. You can't get the sound of the band. You know what I mean?
Sure. Well, I will say this.
Photography does still have its place, but
Absolutely. I mean,
here in Lehigh Valley, there's still too much emphasis on it versus going video and making people feel like they're there.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, with my magazine, I have, you know, followers. We have followers half around the world. So people halfway around the world that might be coming to next year's Music Fest can tell, hey, you know, can feel what it can get the feel of a band through my magazine.
and even if they just tell somebody about it, you know,
Yeah.
say, hey, you know what? I saw this band while I was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, or you know, I heard this band on the radio, and you know what? I went home and I researched it, and now I'm going to link it on my Facebook page or whatever social network I'm on.
Plus, all the bands have all their music online now too. You can either go onto this site, you can go onto iTunes or whatever. So it's, you know, it really. Now I want to go into the history. How'd you get into radio?
Actually,
It's every DJ has a unique story.
well, mine is kind of anticlimactic, really, because I mean, I was attending classes at L-Tri-C, and middle of this one class, this one kid who I didn't even know just comes up to me and my girlfriend, and he's like, "Hey, you guys want to be on radio?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Do we want to be on radio?" He's like, "You guys want to be radio DJs?" I'm like, "Well, sure. How would that work?" And he's like, "Well, L-Tri-C has a radio station." I'm like, "Really? Okay, I'm interested. What do I got to do?" And he's like, "Well, we'll go down to the station. We'll talk."